Donald Trump had described tariff as the most beautiful word in the dictionary. Now, rhetoric becomes reality, as the US president's tariffs on his country's biggest trading partners come into effect.
Tariffs 25% on Canada and 25% on Mexico, and that'll start. So they're going to have a tariffs. It's going to be very costly for people to take advantage of this country. They can't come in and steal our money and steal our jobs and take our factories and take our businesses and expect not to be punished. And they're being punished by tariffs. It's a very powerful weapon.
So, as of this morning, imports from America's northern neighbour Canada will face tariffs of 25%, with a 10% tariff on Canadian energy. Goods from Mexico will also be tariffed at 25%, and for Chinese imports, tariffs will double, going from 10 to 20%. Retaliation has been swift. Canada's foreign minister outlined their response.
If Trump is imposing tariffs, we're ready. We are ready with $155 billion worth of tariffs, and we're ready with the first tranche of tariffs, which is $30 billion, which is already known.
Mexico's President Claudia Sheinbaum has said they will respond and already have contingencies in place. And China has announced 15% tariffs on some US agricultural imports. No one wins in a trade or tariff war, the country's government said after Trump's announcement. It was news that was not well received on Wall Street, with stocks falling sharply. General Motors, which has production plants in Mexico, saw shares fall, as did Ford, with car manufacturers facing the likelihood of major disruption to supply chains. Trump's hope is that these taxes will boost American business, protecting US jobs and interests. But for Isam, a Detroit grocery store owner who imports 70% of his stock, he has already seen costs rise and fears it's his customers who will be forced to pay the price.
This is really an alarming situation. For example, I was buying a load of lentil from Canada, and they told me, we will honor our prices, but you are responsible to pay the tariff.
It definitely increases the anxiety that a lot of, average shoppers and Americans are feeling, on top of, the expenses that we're already having to deal with.
China also had an additional 10, so it's 10 plus 10. And
Donald Trump's America First economics look to have made adversaries of neighbours and antagonised rivals further afield. But with retaliation underway, the impacts will now likely be felt right back on the president's doorstep. Will Tullis, ITV News.